The Las Vegas Aces, the team that revitalized the modern day super team in the WNBA. They went from dominating the league, winning back-to-back championships, literally having teams craft their roster in order to beat the Aces, is now the team that did not live up to expectations this year, and is a team that's one by one falling apart in front of our own very eyes.
The Las Vegas Aces, once the WNBA's top team, are facing uncertainty. With free agency in motion and key players considering exits, the team's future is in question. How is MVP A'ja Wilson handling the shift as the Aces move from success to instability? Fans are left shocked.
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to be the best. I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great. It looks great. But I want to be the best person. I want to be the best teammate, because that's how I get the best out of my team.
As the Las Vegas Aces face uncertainty, the Indiana Fever are on the rise. Led by Caitlin Clark and a revitalized front office, the Fever are building something strong and exciting. Could this mark a shift in power within the WNBA? Are you ready for the change? Let's explore.
We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that, because I really like that group. They were a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too.
The Las Vegas Aces, once the WNBA's elite team, are now in turmoil. After being knocked out of the 2024 playoffs by the New York Liberty, their offense collapsed, dropping nearly 7 points in their rating. Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray also saw their shooting percentages drop, struggling in a way that was hard to explain.
Despite back-to-back championships and a deep playoff run this season, the Las Vegas Aces have fired general manager Natalie Williams.
As the fallout from their disappointing season continues, the real drama is just starting. The Aces are quickly falling apart, with key figures leaving at an alarming rate. Coach Becky Hammon made it clear that the team will look very different in 2025, a major understatement. The front office is in disarray, with general manager Natalie Williams and her top assistants all gone. It's a mass exodus, and now, everyone is racing to secure their future.
What is going on in their locker room? Like, this Aces team is falling apart. This is not a coach that I would want to play for.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Kelsey Plum, the Aces star sharpshooter, is reportedly eyeing an exit, with the Golden State Valkyries on her radar. The Aces tagged her with the core designation, but that doesn't seem to be enough to keep her around. Despite an offer of a supermax contract worth around $250,000 for the 2025 season, Plum is still considering leaving. It seems money isn't always enough to secure loyalty after all.
We talked a lot of smack last year. I'm sure they heard it, and they got to smack us this year. So, for us, we will have a long off season.
How did the Aces fall so fast? Their championships, all-star roster, and Vegas Outliers seemed like the perfect formula. But while they thrived, the league caught up. Now, they're facing the reality that success can lead to downfall. Can they recover? Or is this the end of an era?
WNBA's newest franchise, the Golden State Valkyries, have named Natalie Nakase as their first ever.
The Aces front office is in disarray, and the big question is, who's in charge? Becky Hammon is still there, but can she handle it all? With no GM in sight, she might combine coaching and GM roles, a bold move. She's already pushing for change, urging the team to assess itself and make necessary adjustments. It looks like she's ready to take control.
Chicago, as we just said, has Tyler Marsh as their head coach. He was also an assistant for the Las Vegas Aces, so that's caused a lot of back and forth because they've had two now assistant coaches leave. Natalie Nakase is now the head coach of the Valkyries.
Here's the twist. While Becky Hammon may be gearing up to do it all, her former assistants are leaving. Natalie Nakase is making history with the Golden State Valkyries as the first Asian American head coach in WNBA history, and Tyler Marsh is diving into the chaos of the Chicago Sky. Going from Vegas to a team in turmoil, Marsh faces a tough challenge. With high tensions and a locker room more like Mutiny on the Bounty than a dream team, he's in for a rough ride.
We don't have it every year. It's not the way this works. You don't get to flip a switch. It's the beautiful thing about sports, actually. The work and the commitment and the buy-in and the play hard and the want to and the will always show up in the end.
Back in Sin City, the Aces are struggling. With no replacement for Hammond's top assistant, it feels like a ship with only its captain aboard. The league is circling, sensing the vulnerability. This leadership gap isn't just a small issue, it could sink the Aces dynasty. Can Hammond hold things together, or will their reign end abruptly?
It reminds me a lot of like, it's not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball, but like, she understands her privilege. It's like what pushes her over the top in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you. And I mean, that's a compliment.
Let's talk about Kelsey Plum, the Aces' sharp shooting guard who's usually a force on the scoreboard. However, her playoff performance was a letdown in a key game against the Liberty, where she scored just 6 points on 2 of 9 shooting. That's a sharp contrast to her regular season averages of 17.8 points per game, 4.2 assists, and 36.8% from 3. With Plum hitting free agency, expect several teams to vie for her services, eager to bring her talent elsewhere.
Seemed like Asia Wilson was diminishing the accomplishments of players like Kelsey Plum and Paige Beckers and someone who is her teammate. It felt like she was giving Kelsey Plum a backhanded compliment. And a lot of people, Aces fans, WNBA fans, Kelsey Plum fans, across the board really had a problem with this video, and it really left a sour taste in their mouth. Moving on to the Las Vegas Aces, another big storyline in this draft was that Kate Martin was drafted to the Golden State Valkyries.
The whole league has been pissed off for the last 8 months, and my players are in commercials and this and that and being freaking celebrities, and you get distracted.
WNBA suspends Becky Hammon for 2 games. They lose a first-round pick in 2025 because Derek Hamby says she was bullied for being pregnant, body shamed, just really harassed because of her pregnancy.
But we would like to offer each of you individually a sponsorship for this year in the amount of $100,000.
No way!
The offer is really simple. We want you to just play. We want you to keep repping Las Vegas.